go. Apologies, it took me so long to actually properly go live today. Ran into a few technical difficulties, plus I had to restock various things around the area. What am I doing? Right. Yes, I had to refill my water. When I sat down and thought I was ready to start, I realized that I still had to feed my cat, so I had to go and do that. A whole host of issues today. Hello, GSock. Yes. I did a tarot stream on Monday as well, but that was a very short stream. Were you there? I think you might have been. I don't remember things very well. I remember a lot of people showed up for that one. A lot more than normally do. No, you missed it. Okay. Yes, it was much shorter than normal. Oh, you know what? I probably should have finished setting them... Bit of a lisp there. I should have finished setting everything up. I need to take a copy of... Is it the card outline? Wherever that may be. Hello? I have it here somewhere. Oh. Did I get rid of it? Or did I combine it with another layer? I don't think so. Frame copy, there it is. There we go. I don't have to redo that now. Also, that was the art that I did previously, the last stream. So, now trying to figure out who to do. Since you have arrived, GSock, I could do the chariot, which is, I believe, the one that I picked out for you. I actually went through and properly checked everything. Yes, it is. I have a couple of other ones that or no. The only one that I have left that I started on is Magician, which is Laotians, and I very specifically wanted to finish that off stream because all I have left to do is hands. And nobody wants to see me drawing hands for a half hour. Let's see. A whole bunch of them. I think I actually want to do the tower. Seems like the one that might be the most fun to do. I'm going to do the tower, which is Aster's card. Even with all of the setup that I've been doing, I didn't do enough. I don't have a reference for Aster. I'm gonna have to download a picture. Very fortunately, I've taken long enough to do this that he has actually released his new model. So, that's good, for sure. Get everything to sides. Oh, there's actually two figures in the tower now that I'm looking at it. I thought it was just the one. This one here. No, there's actually this weird scarecrow-looking being. I'm terrified of whatever is happening here. What is this face? Come on, Clip Studio, you can pull through. Alright. Let's try and figure out what's even happening here. So... this is the chin, right? That looks like the chin. And we have an eye... or no, wait, is this a nose? And this just looks like an angry mouth here. And his other eye is behind the nose, which is on the bottom, and he just has really spiky Goku hair. Is this... I don't know if I'm alone in seeing this. You've found my sad swordsman redeem. It's a bit long, but it's very sad. That's another Berserk reference there. Yeah, I think that's what the face looks like. I'm not entirely certain. Doing well, doing well. It was a very interesting storm that happened. Been the first time I've seen hail in a very long time. It's a fairly unusual weather phenomenon where I'm at. Here, I'll actually just leave it on a close zoom while I find a reference for Aster. And I suppose I'll have to put a second figure here. I'll ask Aster if he has anyone in mind for his cohort falling out of the tower next time I get a chance. But as it is now, I'll just block out that area. Really? Never been in a storm period? That seems a bit unbelievable. I don't know. Maybe not unbelievable, but, something. Alright, Aster. I think Aster's actually streaming right now. And he even has a cape. Perfect for something. Right, the image. It's the same as the image. Character in the tower has a cape. Both of them do, I'm fairly certain. You... Oh! Both at once? You'll notice that those are very long, and they're a bit more expensive.
Really? Wow! Wow, crazy USA hamburger, yes! Love, make hamburger country USA, wow! Oh my god! I'm a burger! I'm a burger fox!
Burger fox. Fubuki is great. I'm wondering if I should maybe bump up the cost of those, given how long they are. I didn't realize that it would take that long to play through them. Let's see, here's Aster. Yeah, they're... the reason that I made them longer is because those are also... because I did a bit of digging around into, what is it? The Twitch widgets. Because I was trying to get some things working. Which I did get working, actually. So, that's good. But I found various other widgets that I'm using, and one of them is... so those two longer sound redeems that I just added can also be played using bits. Only 10 bits a piece. I'm not making things expensive here. But that's an option that I see a lot of other streamers have for sound redeems. But I didn't also want to make them bit exclusive. So I sort of just bumped up the price a bit higher than my normal sound redeems. They play for so very long. Alright, so Aster's going to be this one on the left here. The tower's just going to be the tower. Unless he has a very specific request for the tower. I haven't actually spoken with him since he Not haven't spoken with him, but I haven't spoken with him about the card since he requested the tower all the way back when. I'm drawing the tower. It is tarot card. What is this? 16. It represents disaster. Let's see. Let me actually pull up a proper reference for what this tarot card represents. But it is very famously the worst tarot card to draw. It often has very negative connotations. Let's see. But he was the one that requested it. I don't think I would ever give the tarot card to someone if they didn't ask for it. Let's see. Where are you, tower? Yeah. When upright, the tarot card can mean sudden change, upheaval, chaos, revelation, and awakening. So, that's the best it gets. Which is, you know, things will change. It doesn't even specify whether or not it's positive or negative. Ah. Okay, I see. Unfamiliar with the concept of tarot itself. So tarot cards, it's a deck of 21 cards. Here we are. They're used in a lot of different types of media. They're used in JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. They're used in Persona. They're used in a lot of other things. There's actually a run of tarot cards in Yu-Gi-Oh! They don't have them all, if I'm remembering correctly. But they have some of them. So there are actually a tarot card set in Yu-Gi-Oh! But the basic idea is that these are an old fortune-telling tool, a form of mysticism. And these aren't all of the cards either. There's a full 52 deck in addition to these. But these are the major arcana. There's 21 major arcana, and there are 52 minor arcana. And the minor arcana are numbered in the same way that traditional playing cards are, 1 through 13. And those have the suits, instead of clubs, diamonds, spades, and hearts. They are, what is it? Swords, cups, pentagrams, and rings. And there's various different fortune-telling methods that you can go through with the tarot deck. But the most basic one is that you flip over, I think it's 3 cards. Or no, you lay down 3 cards face down from the top of the deck. And then you flip them over, and they're supposed to tell your fortune in some way. So, for instance, if you flip over the tower, that means that... oh, and it depends whether or not they're facing upright or upside down. So, for instance, this is the upright position of the tower. But if you were to draw the card and it was flipped around like that, that would be its reversed form. So, if it's upright, it means sudden change, upheaval, chaos, revelation, and awakening. So, change either for the better or for the worse. And if it's reversed, it means personal transformation, fear of change, and disaster. So, it's generally a fairly scary card to draw out of the tarot deck. If you put stock into the truth of fortune-telling. Or into any truth in fortune-telling, I suppose. But I've just been drawing VTubers onto tarot cards because they're very, character-focused sort of things. This is actually a pretty difficult pose. So, I'm just going to go in close on this figure that I'm going to be drawing. So we have a head here. Let me reduce pen size a little bit. No problem. I like tarot cards. They're very interesting. So we have the head here. Sort of face like that. This crossbar is actually very high up. It's looking sort of in that direction. Neck here. Body backing up like that. One arm here. Oh, at least I can't do a worse job at drawing hands than this. It's probably a bit more messed up due to compression, but it doesn't look like it was the best originally either. Hips are around here. This is one leg. They're there. Knee joint, knee joint. Leg, this is in front. So get rid of that there. Oh, alright. This is going to be pretty interesting. And I actually have to undo all of that because I was drawing on the layer of the tarot card, so I don't want that there forever. I'd like to be able to reference it without these lines getting in the way. Let's take the default layer and turn it into a sketch. Alright, as I am. So, the figure is actually very small on this. It would only be taking up about this much space. It's a bit more. Seems about right. Perhaps I'll make it a bit larger since this is meant to be character focused. So that. Right. Try and keep Aster in that sort of area then. So I can actually move the card over a little bit so that I have more frame of reference for what I'm properly drawing. And I also remembered I can have my microphone far closer to my mouth than normal, because I don't have to worry about it getting in front of my face when I'm doing art streams. Right, so just get a head shape in first. I'd actually been planning to take a walk today, but that got canceled because of the storm that rolled in. I've been taking a lot more walks than I used to recently, in fact. Hasn't been, I don't know. My walks aren't typically very eventful. Normally just, especially since when I take walks, I do it on a, what is it? There's an old abandoned, train track that runs behind my house. Or not runs behind, but, see, I live on the base of a fairly large hill. And the track runs through sort of the middle of the hill. Yes, that's the primary reason that I've been doing it. It's just for some general exercise. Because the only time I really leave my house is when I need to go to classes. I just sort of figured that it'd probably be in my best interest to take more walks, get more exercise in. Alright, can I do a pro artist move? Oh, I'm on the frame copy. Cut you out. Turn you into the sketch. There we go. Alright. But if I do what is known as a pro artist move and just shift Aster ever so slightly over to the side, but his hand is out of frame. I feel like I'm learning. Unfortunately, all I've learned is how to avoid doing work. Alright. What do we have for the waist? Alright, fortunately, I can hide a lot of stuff. Oh, but he doesn't have a back view, does he? Yes, that's what I was saying when I started drawing it. Do I just do 2 Asters? That would be pretty funny.
Wow.
Wow. Hello, Lucy. Welcome. See, I feel like you might know Aster. Old and new. He didn't change that much, though, is the main thing. More just a visual upgrade. Leg 1, and the other leg is sort of hidden behind the first one. Yes, Archmage Aster. That's the one. You specifically requested the tower. Who knows why? I mean, I suppose he is the Archmage of the tower. I think that is his title. Ooh. I think my headset actually just ran out of charge. Yes, it did. I suppose I didn't set that up charging earlier. Alright. I'll just have to plug in the cable and, hope that any sound redeems that play on the speaker aren't overpowering. It'll also be a lot more well, no. Actually, it may be easier. I believe he's streaming right now, in fact. I'm fairly certain I saw him going live. A bit before I started streaming. Yes, I did actually go through all of my, all of the people who I was following on Twitter the other day. Well, not the other day. Probably around 2 days ago at this point. Just to check to see whether or not I was, following them on Twitch as well. And I had missed quite a few people. I think you're probably following a few more people than I am, so. Capped follow count. On Twitter? Or on Twitch? Because I didn't know there was such a thing. On either platform, that is. On Twitter. Ah, that's right. I know, Zia, the Hellhound VTuber, also capped her out at 666. Fortunately, the feet in this are pretty shapeless. So those can just turn into little water droplets on this page. This is the rough sketch anyways, so I don't need to care too much about what the feet look like or how large they are. That can come in later. Right, and I also don't have to care what the hand looks like. Let's see. I'll try and make it as accurate to the original as possible. There we go. Perfect. One-to-one recreation. I think the head might want to move down a little bit. Ah, hello, Pyromancer. Welcome. I've been thinking of getting back into Hades as well. I've been out of that game for a little while. Reminded of that because Pyromancer just showed up. Just quite a lot of fun to play. I think the body is actually sort of angled at a diagonal. I have it a bit too horizontal here. Yes, I think I have him falling straight down, like a pencil, or like he's actually diving rather than sort of splayed. Yes. I mean, that was what was it? I was primarily introduced to you via you giving advice to me through Ray. Hello, Alistair. The twins have shown up today. Yeah, that helps a little bit. Alright, I'm also going to, Ooh, I have a bunch of extraneous applications running. I need to, close those so we don't get... Ooh!
Really?
Wendy's Burger? Wendy's Burger?
Wow! Wow, crazy USA hamburger!
You found my, more expensive redeems.
Wow!
I'm adjusting my desktop audio,
I'm a burger
so I hope you're not hearing this double. Burger Fox? Ah, Nutters, welcome. There's so many people here. Yes, I said the twins are here. Did you not pick up on that, Alistair? I didn't know you had any other twins. Alright, so. I don't think Alistair has a, yeah. The last one? What do you mean?
I am the bone of my soul.
You've just found all of my expensive and long redeems.
Known to life. Unlimited. Blade works.
Oh, out of stock. Really? Oh, right. No, you only get one hello redeem per stream. It's a single point. Obviously, you only get one per stream. But each person who shows up has one hello redeem per stream. It's basically just to say hello to me. Unfortunately, Sebastian is not here. I'm gonna have to refund that one to you, Aaron. Unless you want me to pet him off stream. Or next time he shows. But, he's wandering around the house right now. I did make the pet Sebastian redeem. Yeah, so, you'll be allowed to force me to pet my cat. If he is in the area. And I will take a drink then. But feel free to let me know, Aaron, whether or not you want me to, redeem that or pet him off stream or next time he shows. Thank you for that. Alright, so. Back to it. I think just rotating it slightly probably helped with the, perspective. But maybe I just want to separate the legs a little bit. And rotate those a bit more. Just a pat when I see him? Alright. I'll make sure to get that done. Oh, I don't know, I'm drawing, so... Normally copious amounts of stress and pain are associated with that, but I feel like I'm doing alright so far. Especially given this pose. I don't know where to go from here, honestly. Oh! I don't know if you can hear that now, but Sebastian's currently clawing on my wall. It's pretty loud. But this microphone's also fairly directional, and it's in the opposite direction that it's pointing. A lot of clicks and clacks. It's fine. It's a little ply wall dividing sort of barrier. He's allowed to claw on it. Doesn't need to look pretty. It's plywood after all. Does make so much noise. Okay, so I'm going to get the sort of ruffle area. That'll be going behind his head and then around to the side. And then the cape in the original drawing sort of flutters off to the side. But his isn't tattered, so it'll sort of form one whole long thing. Oh, and it's very intricately detailed, so let's just get the shape of that out of the way so that I can obscure parts of the body. I think I've actually curved it a bit too narrowly here. It's a very wide cape, after all. Billows out. And it should actually form sort of like a triangle shape. Because it's a lot wider at the base than it is the top, given that it curves in so far. I should actually be able to cover quite a lot of the body with it. Oh, thank you for the bits. I don't know if that's a pat for me or a pat for Sebastian. Either one is pretty acceptable, I suppose. Something that I don't know that I've ever mentioned on stream before. I do actually have a younger sister who I unironically give head pats to. I also unironically just head pat people in general. Would probably make the cape its own layer, thinking about it. Where does it come down to? Mid-calf. Okay. Around here, then. Well, I can actually cut off a fairly decent portion of his body just by obscuring it with the cape. Let's get that done. Actually, I'm going to cut the pattern out of the base of the cape. It looks like it's just the 3 in the center. So that is this sort of shape here. And they look like they're all around the same size. Oh, that's the wrong direction. need to focus on the angle that the cape is facing as well. So this is a bit tricky. Come on, back to nothing. I did it so well on the first one. Like it's matching perspective fairly well. Is it slightly longer on this side? You know what? I'm just going to go in very fine detail and just shift this over. I know I'm going to be grabbing a bit of foot, but that's fine. Everyone can use a bit of extra foot in their life. Said that without thinking of the ramifications. I'd like to go on record saying that I did not mean that in a fetishistic manner. Thank you and good night. Well, not that I'm leaving, of course, but just figured I'd cover my bases. Now that once I have just everything properly, I can just set it all back to its own layer. What are you on? Oh, sketch copy. There we go. Not entirely sure what that line used to be. But it's nothing now. So, everything outside of those diamonds disappear. The land of object permanence. That is, it's a pretty long redeem, by the way, so, buckle up.
よく言ってくれた。世の愛する市民たちよ。
If anyone is unfamiliar with the source material, that is Emperor Nero from the Fate franchise being told not to give up. Or he was told not to give up in a online message. It's unclear. I know it's from a what is it, a radio broadcast special, I think? Something of that nature. Sort of an in-universe gag where she received... Ooh. Oh no. I've messed up. Yeah, that's a fair amount of points. The frame became one with the sketch. I don't know how far back that happened. Oh. Alright, full rotation of my neck. All my joints are back in place. Back feels fine. Alright, I'm going to have to very carefully extricate the sketch from the frame. I'm afraid it may be damaged beyond repair. I didn't actually get quite as satisfying a neck crack as I would have liked out of that stretch. Just got a bunch of grinding. Perhaps if I sit around for a bit longer, have some real good, solid neck joint cracks. Oh yes, but also this stream was slightly postponed because I was also making dinner as well. Nothing special today, nothing worth taking a picture of, at the very least. All I really did was... what was it? I had some kielbasa in the fridge, so I cooked that in a pan alongside some... pan-sauteed that with potatoes and green pepper, and onions and garlic, and then seasoned it. But nothing too extravagant. Yes, fortunately for me, I didn't do too much today, so I had plenty of energy for cooking. I think this might actually be a good chance for me to try and add some cloth folds. Either that, or I give up in terror, because cloth folds are very difficult. Especially since around the base here, looks like this is almost a metallic bit of texture, but may just be held in place like this. Oof. Just gave myself a heart attack thinking about how I would try and make that curve so that it remained exactly formed. But I'm just going to headcanon it, and Aster has enchanted that magically, but this is a foldable metal that doesn't retain shape permanently. And unless he very specifically says anything to the contrary, that is what I will continue to believe. He's also a mage, so anything is possible. So just get a couple more elements of clothing in here. Very specifically these. The little tassels that hang down. I think I can just have one of them ever so slightly blowing in the breeze off to the side here. The other one would be obscured. Where do those come to? Down to around his knees, actually. Oh. Out to here. Just do that. I'm just going to assume that the underside is untextured. I can't assume that it would have the same pattern on the underside that it has on the top. I'll give it like little galaxy dots because of magic. Okay, but as is, I think that's about it for the sketch, or the rough sketch. I'm going to drop everything down. Oh, I've also, what was it, vector layer. I did a bit of experimenting with the vector layer. I'm not particularly sad right now. But I do just quite like that song. So no complaints from me. Right. So let's get face in. Right. I was experimenting with this because I have, it is fairly long. I considered giving it a, what was it? I considered giving it a, higher price. But I also wanted it to act as the counterpart to Basilgeuse, however you pronounce that. I wanted it to act as a foil to his theme. So, I put it at the same price point. Yes, the B52. Because for some reason, Basilgeuse, his theme has been used more as a triumphant sort of theme for me, rather than a terrified theme, which I'm fine with. But as I was saying, vector layer. If I erase that line, let's try and demonstrate this properly. So I erased that line, but I cut into this one a bit, but I didn't cut all the way through. So if I leave it, it regenerates. So you can actually just get rid of sections, and as long as you don't go too hard into them, it'll fix itself. I find that very fascinating. I don't know how specifically useful it is, or what limitations I'm faced with because of that. It just seems very useful. What I did notice is that sometimes it regenerates a bit too well. You lose perfect control over the environment, but you gain some generally useful features. I don't know. I'll probably stick with raster layers because that is what I know and am comfortable with. But if there are any situations where vector layers become very useful, I'll probably try and use them. As it is, it's time to try and sketch out a face. Just a normal layer, normal raster. Raster for Aster. I'm a comedian. I know how to make things rhyme. His eyes just seem so far up on the head. That's just how it is on this one. Right? Let me just do a mild trace test. Yeah. The eyes are just so high up. I guess I don't have to follow that specifically. It's just sort of like a perspective thing. Like this is where the mouth would be. Gotta get a little nose there. Maybe I'm just doing perspective a bit off. He has very soft eyes, very gentle. I don't know if I should be depicting him calmly as he falls out of the tower, or panicking with the triangle mouth. Very upset. I feel like Aster probably blew up his own tower, is what's happening in this scene. But whether or not he did that on purpose or an accident is the crutch of it all. Is this the daring escape or the lab malfunction? Probably has one of the most defined noses that I've seen out of a VTuber. He actually has individual nostrils. Look at that. Normally all you see out of a nose at most is that. Very defined. Good job, Aster. However, noses are difficult. Really? Oh, interesting. Does that have to do with the current topic of noses? Is that a feature that you requested? Feels a bit odd to give Aster a smile. Yes. Try getting these eyebrows in. Eyebrows tell you a lot. He has very, small eyebrows, actually. And the hair should be just blowing upwards. So, how to depict stylized anime hair blowing upwards. I gave myself quite a challenge with this one. The ear should be around here. Right? Something like that. Let's see, does this one have an ear? Sort of. I think that's the ear. Bit lower then. Right, wait, let me just... Ears begin at eye level. I would know, I'm wearing glasses. Glasses have to rest on ears. So, just a crude ear.
I'm in danger.
Ugh. Fine, if for some reason Aster were to come into this stream, if he somehow finished his own and decided to visit, I feel like I would be in danger. But I'm also just in danger because this is difficult. Oh, that's right. I also was going to talk on this subject. I didn't add the, what was it? Right, the sound redeem that I posted on Twitter as a part of the longer sound redeem group that I added before this stream. I think that's roughly the facial expression I want. General discontentedness, I suppose. I've burdened myself with this drawing. Why did I think that this would be, I don't know, doable? Right, so. The shoulder fluff comes out quite a ways. Or tucking back in the neck, so. Assuming it goes around the same depth all the way around to his back. Make that happen. Like that. Wonder if maybe Aster just casts a spell to make his hair always stay like this, so that way I don't have to draw it being blown back in the wind. Ugh. This is the most dynamic pose out of all of them. I hope he wasn't expecting this to be drawn well. No. I hope I wasn't expecting this to be drawn well. Goodness. That's definitely not happening. Where to even go from here? Difficult to tell. Alright, let's take a look at his outfit. Actually, let me take a look at his anatomy. So, fairly covered. His clothes are both baggy and obscuring. Is this transparent? It looks like it is a bit. At the body line there? So the waist is around here then? Right? Something of that nature. Oh no, that's the arm here. Okay, so that's clothes then. So that means that torso is here, right? Master, you are a difficult man to draw. Oh. Alright. I think I've just about got it down. Once again, definitely no expert. I think I have a general understanding of what his clothes should be looking like. Let's get a new sketch in here. Come on. I'm trying my patience, Clip Studio. There we go. Time for more sketching. Alright. So time to actually draw the hand and arm now. So. See, so this actually covers a bit more than I originally drew. Just looking at where it's placed on the arm. It's part of the face. Well, good, because I just redrew that on the clothes layer, where it should be anyways. He doesn't actually have very baggy sleeves, so it's somewhat fortunate. I mean, I guess not fortunate really, but yeah, I don't know. I suppose it's just something to note. A little gem, a lot of intricate rune work on that. But where is the elbow? Is this over the elbow? Does it look like the elbow should be around here, right? Alright, well, can't be too picky when I'm drawing this, I suppose. Might just drop the elbow down a little bit in this case. Just draw a rough approximation of a hand. I'll even keep the fingers in the same position. Make it a bit more readable as a hand rather than a bundle of spikes. Has a nifty little mage gauntlet on it with generally pretty open fingers. Definitely got proportions wrong here somewhere. Hand is tiny. Very small hands. Oh. Was on the wrong tool there for a second. Pump those up. Those are rookie hands. Gotta make those numbers bigger. That's too big. Smaller. Good enough. This is still the sketch anyways, just a slightly more detailed one. Here we have the other arm, which I've decided exits frame. Alright, and now... I did actually ask him what these were. These are raven feathers. The little poof around the side of his body. Or not around the side of his body, around the side of his neck. And just look a bit fluffy rather than feathery. I'll be keeping in style and making them fluffy rather than feathery because it's a lot easier to draw feathers than it is to draw fluffy objects. Oh, okay. Make that eraser a bit smaller, but I don't have to guess at where it's erasing. What do his ears look like? Does he have rounded ears? Oh, I can't tell. Alright. I feel like I have, I feel like I've done the cape weird. I'm actually going to put the cape on its own layer. I don't know that I'll actually be exactly following the template that I laid out. Oh. Guess it's going to be on a vector layer. Just for fun. Just to see how it works out. Come on. Apparently it doesn't like it when I tap at an angle. So, what I was saying earlier is that the way that it's blowing like that makes it look like it's just being pushed to the side. It just doesn't look quite right to me. Come on. You can do this, Clip Studio Paint. I believe in you. Just a simple undo. I'm going to make it curve less. Alright, and after very worrying levels of thought from myself, I'm going to see if I can't make it curve back around like his proper cape does. Right. Oh, right, and I can just do that. Okay. And I did leave the base of the cape in relatively the same position, so just redo these. With the added benefit that since I am now doing these by hand, they're no longer identical. And therefore, much harder to, oh, no. They don't look identical anymore. I don't know what I was trying to say there. Oh, cut through a little bit too much. Oh. Just a bit. Ever so slightly want to nudge up against that line. Ah. Now I can also take out the center. Still need to be a bit delicate with where I'm erasing. All things considered, I should actually put the cape around again on that side. That. There we go. I have it wrapping around. I think I can actually just follow the original line of the cape here. There. Now I'll add in some old lines. What a tricky prospect. No, this isn't the time to get experimental on myself. Alright, that's the cape. on a vector layer for whatever reason. Now, get a good torso in here. It's definitely not going as poorly as initial fears would have led me to believe. Okay. There's a torso. What does his torso look like? Okay. It's also, this, the raven feather cloak is actually very useful because it hides the shoulder connection, which means that's something that I don't actually have to worry about too much. Those are very baggy. Alright, wait. What is the... Can't see what it looks like here because there's all these clothes. Actually, wait a second. Oh. Oh, if only I'd thought to look at this earlier. Okay. That's cinched by a belt. That's why it goes in so much there, just below the ribs. Okay. I was wondering why it went in here. Because that would be... Normally it cinches in around the waist here. But it's cinching in at the ribs because he has a belt on. His ribs. Aster, you need to learn... Belts go lower. Belts go around here. I know it's fashionable, but, oh, could have saved me a lot of headache if I'd thought to look at this earlier. Alright. I'm actually just going to, grab this and put it underneath the, Ether himself. Oh, what just happened? Did I not cut? Ah, because I cut on the wrong layer. Because I am a smart person. There we go. Hello. Slightly smaller Aster that is wearing slightly less clothes. Thank you for, what is it? Agreeing to be a reference today. It is. I feel like, let me actually just take a look at the tarot deck itself. Is this going to be the hardest pose? Yes. Yes, it is. Everything else is fairly straight on. Death might be a little bit tricky since it's a fully side view, but there's no weird perspective going on. No difficult obscuring to deal with. But everything else, it's just like, oh, the Emperor is sitting in a chair. The Hierophant is sitting in a chair. Empress is sitting in a chair at an angle. High Priestess is also sitting in a chair. And the tower is two people crazily falling out of it at very strange angles. I suppose the tower is also living up to its meaning. This is truly the most unfortunate card to have drawn. So, inch inwards till we hit the ribs. Has a belt on it. And you can spread back outwards because of the baggy clothing. And also, he has... What would this be described as? It looks almost like a, what is it? A chef's uniform. Got the same shape as one. Double-breasted, that's what they're called. Yes, it looks like a double-breasted uniform. Actually, these... What is it? The, petticoat? I think that's what this is called. The petticoat on his actual coat reaches about the same level that the tassels? I don't know what else to call these. Reach. Those will come out to around here. Also fold back in, but obscured by the leg. Alright. Let's also get see-through Galaxy Veil tassel as well. This challenge is going to be accompanied by a lot of deep breathing. Let's get leg and boot. Leg and boot. Yeah. Where's Small Aster? There he is. Bring this all up so that I can... Actually, are you... You have different shoes than your larger counterpart here? No, they're the same. I thought the shoes were slightly different. Thank goodness. Alright, I can just depict this as a normal sort of boot and draw on the decorations afterward. This is a side view, which is actually useful. I'm given a side view of the shoe. I'll come in like this. Spikes on the way up. Also, spike like this. Coating the side. Up at the knees, which are obscured. Oh, thank goodness. Difficult portion of this to draw is obscured. Saved. Oh, Right. Time to do a little bit of a test. Okay. Not as bad as I thought. Things are on the wrong layer. It's fine. Snip. Rejoin the torso. All of my problems are solved. I've never lied more in my life than with that one single sentence. I fear that these, I fear that the canvas size might be too small once again. Ugh. Ooh. I'm just taking a look at this from farther out, and that doesn't look like a foot at all. This looks like more leg. Probably because I have this connecting at the ankle. I just have the perspective off. Again, as always. Okay, how to fix this? How to fix this? I need to make this ankle joint a bit more specific. Maybe. Loading, yes. Okay. Alright. I have thoroughly messed that up. I am certain of it. That doesn't... Oh, that's just a spike attached to his leg now. Go back. Bring me back. I want to go back. Alright. Let's just put this higher up. Oh, dear me. Perhaps the curvature of the foot? The base of the foot? Would be more concave rather than convex? Is it too long? I need to reference those art books that Aquapunk gave me. I remember there are chapters specifically about hands and feet. I just don't want to take the time to pause my stream. Well, not even pause, but take time away from...
I'm in danger.
Here, let me redeem something myself. Just for, my own sake.
Every day is a new chance to draw the worst thing I've ever drawn.
I needed to hear that one. Boosts my spirits a little bit. No, don't worry. That one makes me feel better about my art. I have it there for a reason. Because I'm fairly certain this is probably... I think this is probably the worst thing I've drawn. I think that's a safe guess. Going to hide that sketch. Alright, without the sketch, it looks a bit better. Ever so slightly. I wish the hair was more recognizable, but he's falling. Other than that, I don't know. Yeah, let's just get a couple more details in. Specifically, what I want to do is make it obvious what is everything else. So, if I go in, this has a trim. This is the very tip. So I am going to go against what I said earlier. I'm just going to believe that the pattern for this continues on the back, because otherwise it's just a blank sort of sheet of fabric that's there. And that's pretty boring. Doing something upside down and reversed. Pretty difficult. You have a thought, Nutters? A suggestion, perhaps? I'm all ears. All right. Patterns. Just put some dots here. But it's obvious that it is something separate from this portion of the clothes. Oh, I've done it again. Look at this. The whole pattern dragged off. Alright. Once again, very fortunately, nothing really overlapping. Easy fix. Combine with the torso layer, please. Okay. This arm looks incredibly short, looking at it right now. I think I might need to lengthen it a bit. Tell me there's no object can transform. What? Oh. What layer is it on? Is it his face? Alright. Looks like I made a small mistake. Or as good old Bob would say, a happy little accident. But I don't know how happy I am to have made that accident. And I fixed it, so it doesn't exist anymore. I think it was just a mistake, Bob. Your wise words have been wasted on me. Ugh. A bit later for me than normal. Since I had a delayed stream. What time is it right now? It's currently 8:40 my time. I'll go on a bit longer. But I think, as for what I've drawn now, this is the rough sketch completed. 12:40 for you? You are 4 hours my senior. I feel like I just wanted to say that in a way. I don't know. I was a bit too fancy there. Yeah. Actual words don't really match what I mean. And just draw the base of the fancy crystal that he has. Or crystals, that is. Like that. I probably shouldn't be clicking my tongue. I don't know how that sounds. Probably not great, if I'm going to be honest. Just something I do when I'm thinking. I do apologize for thinking too hard there. The point where I verbalized it. I didn't really vocalize it. I made verbs sound.
Because God has cursed me for my hubris, and my work is never finished.
How long? How long will it take me to finish the tarot deck? I've gotten 2. 2 of them are fully complete. One is mostly complete. How many months? How many years? Sort of just reached a point here.
Don't ask questions. Just consume product and then get excited for next product.
Oh, I think that's the most applicable that voice line has ever been. I just added it because I like how Jay sounds in that clip, but oh dear. I suppose the only difference is that I am creating product rather than consuming it. Okay. I'm going to, just muscle down. And get started on the line art. Something that I would normally save for a separate stream. But I can keep going. So, first thing, base. Let's get a well-drawn face. I need some determination. So. I also need a thinner line. Need chin. For the hairline. It's difficult to see what Aster's hairline looks like because he has hair that covers most of his face and it's fairly long. I'm just going to assume that he has a widow's peak. I don't know why. It's just a guess. Pure speculation. Ears too high. Come on, Bar. You can do better than that. Oh. Sebastian, welcome. Get those pets in. Get the redeem's worth of pets in. Currently standing on the floor next to me, so a bit difficult, but I'm reaching over. Boy. Interesting thing to note about Sebastian is that on the subject of the storm, alright, back to drawing. On the subject of the storm that came by earlier, he actually, well, he hates storms quite a lot. Oh, am I doing that as if I'm sketching? He hates storms quite a lot. But one of the things is that he hates being in the house during a storm. And he would much rather be outside. Which is pretty counterintuitive. Yes. We discovered that couple weeks ago at this point? Months ago. No. It was last year. We just haven't had any storms since because it's been winter since then. But last year we discovered it because there's a window on the ground floor that we keep open. Because it has a sill that leads out onto a porch that's very easy for him to jump back into. Yes, it's very easy for him to jump back into the window from that sill. So we leave it open most days, so that he can come in and out of the house as he pleases. However, there was a storm, and as soon as the first bolt of, or not, royal? I believe the sound of thunder is described as a royal. Peal? First peal of thunder. Hit. He bolted for the window and just ran. And we don't know where he goes when it's thundering. But if that window is open, he will assuredly not stay in the house. Okay. Let me... Are there no irregular wavy lines? No. I didn't expect there to be. Alright. So, this should be... bumpy. Not maintain a smooth outline. Okay, what is it? How does it give texture? Okay, so it is actually like little feather texture. Welcome back, Sebastian. Are you going to finally join me, or are you content staying on the floor? Oh, here he comes. Welcome. Alright. I do need you off the table, though. If you would mind sitting in your bed. Most appreciated. I had to relocate him myself. Oh, no, it looks like he's being a bit restless right now. Come on, sit down. Get comfortable. Alright. No. No. No jumping. Stay there. Or at the very least, jump down the other side. Alright. Looks like he doesn't want to stay. More's the pity. Okay. This is probably the biggest challenge, but trying to figure out what his hair is doing. I think it's just being blown straight up. Right? What makes the most sense? I wonder, do I... Yeah. No. I'm just going to, You know what I'm going to do, actually? Going to not give him black outlines to his hair. This is a first for me. His hair will have the dark purple outlines that is in his official design. Now I just add some dashes now and then to show that this is all hair, I suppose. And I should also tie off all of the tips as well. Yeah, so that it's not loose and open. I think. I'm wondering if maybe I should, just look up, what anime characters' hair looks like while they're falling. But I'm most certainly glad that, Naveen didn't want, the tower. Or else I would 100% have returned her money. Because this is just an absolute mess. I'm trying my best here, but I do not think my best is enough. Alright, you know what? I'm going to widen his eyes. He is falling after all. See what this looks like. I need to match perspective, though. Maybe not too wide either. But if I get the full open eye... Oh, you know what? I need the base sketch back. So I can see the, this guiding line here. I want the full iris visible, because that denotes panic. I've decided that he is afraid that he is falling out of his mage's tower. Oh. Looks like I just temporarily disconnected from chat room. What eyebrow shape, or what eyebrow raised level? Where are eyebrows when you're scared? up like this and angled downwards. Yeah. Right. I had them a bit backwards, the way I drew them. Alright, what does that look like? Take away this. It's not terrible. But again, it is by far not my best work. Oh. Goodness, is it not? Okay. Oh. And get rid of that. All right. Let's get arms then. All right. All right. Have a good time, Nutters. I hope you are able to enjoy what you're off to do. Might just wrap up soon. Maybe once I've finished this arm. Yeah, I've run out of thoughts. I think I'm nearing my breaking point when it comes to art. Especially working on something this complex. I'm drawing like it's a sketch again. Oh. Okay. That's decent. Again. Right, widen a bit for the base of the hand. Thumb. That's tiny. That thumb was minuscule. Bit grander scale. You can do this on bar. Alright, this is a hand. My mental faculties are drained right now. I don't think hand is within my capabilities. I'm just gonna draw a band there. Okay. Other arm. I can do this. This one's simple. Not much to draw. This is even the interior of the arm, so there's a lot less detailing going on here. Yeah. I can just, what is it? There's the inside of that band. Perfect. I can do the same thing here as well. That's the interior of the glove. All set, all set. Alright. Alright, I think I need a break to recharge. And by a break, I mean, thanks for coming to this stream. Because I need to rest. It's been 2 hours. 2 hours is around what I go for art streams. Sometimes. I can go for longer. But slightly diminished numbers. Time to see if there's anyone to raid right now. If not, we can just end unceremoniously. Okay. I think I have to go raid Aster himself. Alright, so here is a neat little thing that I've done. I set up a raid message. I missed a step. So I have 2 separate raid messages. One for public use. I'll take a drink as well, Aaron, thanks. One for public use and one for if you take time to have access to my emote. I bound them both to the, what was it? /raid command. Let's see, I believe it should work now. No? Okay. I did a fairly fancy thing where I have it so that, I have the Streamlabs bot and Nightbot working at the same time. Both bound to the !raid command. And Nightbot posts the general one that just has a public use Twitch emote. And Streamlabs is supposed to be able to post the one with, what was it? The subscriber emote one. I think... What is it? Streamlabs chatbot. Can't you detect that my stream is online? No? Alright, I have to connect it manually every time, it looks like. Alright, let's try this one more time. This worked before. I swear it did. Discord bot. Twitch bot. Come on. It says it's connected. Command list. Still exists. Fourth time's the charm. There we go. See? I knew it would work eventually. So, now it's time to go visit Archmage's tower. Yes. Type it in manually. There we go. Alright. So, if whoever's left in chat by this time that I've finished bumbling around would like to copy and paste the applicable raid message, I also have the channel emote available for, what is it, 80 channel points, I believe? It's the lowest it'll go. I would have made it 0 if I could. But if you don't feel like redeeming that, just grab your applicable raid message, and we'll be off. As soon as the loading bar has finished. But I'm glad so many people came by, and numbers did fall off by the end of the stream, but it kept up fairly well throughout. Thanks for being around, and I will see you next time you're available to come to one of my streams. But for now, I bid you all adieu.